I have an appointment to get the vaccine tomorrow. It's the Pfizer vaccine, but I can't care less whether it's Moderna or Pfizer. Yeah, just get it to me. And I had a horrible reaction to the vaccine. I have a son that had a terrible reaction to it, and I'm really very, very concerned.
And I did get the booster, which I had double Pfizer and Moderna booster, 3 weeks to the day of the fall. Is there anything that you've seen about time wise? Because, when I asked the doctors about that, they said, normally. Okay, go ahead.
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is where you see a lot of this stuff. I have a friend that got the booster, and he got really destroyed by it. He still can't walk across the room. He's having all kinds of symptoms. There's a lot of funny stuff. We don't really know what it all is and where it's coming from, but it's still worth doing it. I'm not at the point where I'm saying that it's still worth the risk. Before these vaccines, myocarditis was a freaking medical emergency. First of all, rare. You rarely saw it. And if you saw it, that person is going into the hospital right now. They could die any second with an arrhythmia. They could end up with a cardiac transplant because of a cardiomyopathy. You don't know where you're going, and it is a serious medical emergency. And people talk about well, one in 1,500, maybe 1 in 3,000 myocarditis. So what? So what? Think about this spike protein, whether it's from the infection or from the vaccines that is doing some endovascular damage of some type. What do you say?
You're right. The spike protein is what's doing it, but you have just injected in you a roadmap that says start creating this toxic thing that's going to attack all of your organ systems and it's going to attach itself to the endothelium of your vasculature. So, and there's no off switch.
But I think that you are underestimating the amount of data that's actually out there with regard to these events.
The study came out in Circulation this week that suggested that in men under 40, the risk of myocarditis is 5 times higher from the Moderna vaccine than from COVID itself. Right there. That would qualify as misinformation, even though it's factually accurate.